We're in Denver now, but we'll be in San Francisco in less than a week. Super Bowl 60. Patriots get a rematch with the Seattle Seahawks. 11 years after the very memorable Super Bowl. Malcolm Butler, Pete Carroll. Part 2 here. I hope Pete Carroll stays away from the TV for a couple weeks here, Dan. But what are you looking forward to most about this matchup coming up?
Well, Seattle's got an interesting Super Bowl history, and I've been at all of them. They were in Detroit and lost to Pittsburgh, and they complained about the officials on that one. I remember that. And then, of course, the Legion of Boom had their huge win in New York City, the only Super Bowl in New York, against Denver. And in that one, all the fans at the game were from Seattle in that game. It was the weirdest thing. You didn't see any orange. Seattle traveled all the way to New York for that game. Then we had Glendale, Arizona. We know what that one was, where basically the Legion of Boom had won again. But Pete Carroll said, no, I don't think I want to win the Super Bowl. I think I'll try a slant pass in traffic down on the 1-yard line. And Malcolm Butler stepped up and made that great play. So here they are again. Seattle's favored, I think 4.5 or 5 out of the gate. That's where it started at least. The team during the year was kind of feared. They allow the fewest points and score third most. That's a good combination when you have that. And of course you got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, it's hard to be a Patriot watcher and not have the memory of that Monday Night Football game when Sam Darnold says, I'm seeing ghosts out there. And he was. And he played for the Jets. And it's hard to not think of him as a Jet, but don't do that. That puts him in the Stidham category, and you can't do that. He threw for 346 yards yesterday. He's legit. The Seahawks are legit. It is the best team they have faced. They are favored for a reason. Another huge obstacle for the Patriots.
Yeah, no question. I think Sam Darnold, probably the second toughest quarterback they faced this year behind Josh Allen, maybe third if you count Lamar Jackson, even though he left the Patriots game at halftime. But yeah, the Seahawks are by far the toughest opponent. They're well-rounded on both sides of the ball. That offense, really dynamic. 31 points to beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Mike McDonald, a Harbaugh guy from the Harbaugh tree, has built a really nasty defense, as you mentioned, number 1 in points allowed. The Seahawks were 14-3. Now they have 16 wins. You had the Patriots 17 wins to it. The 33 combined wins for the two teams, most ever entering a Super Bowl. So these are two teams that have been there the whole season. And the Seahawks, this is going to be a real tough test. They're a very well-rounded team. Jackson Smith and Jigbo, Rashid Shaheed, number 1 scoring defense. I understand why the Patriots are 4.5-point underdogs. This is going to be a really tough test.
And their coach is from Situate, Massachusetts. Look it up. He was born in Situate or something like that. Look it up.
How much do you expect the conversation this week to go back to 2015 and Malcolm Butler and Marshawn Lynch and all that?
If I have anything to say about it, we'll be talking about it for 8 straight days once we get there, because that was a game that was given to the Patriots. It was a great gift from Pete Carroll. He had won the thing. He had the beast mode on the 1-yard line and opted to do something else. We got to call Ernie Adams, your good friend, ask Ernie about the packages that were on the field for that and why he's convinced that the Patriots, they would not have stopped. They would have stopped Lynch at the 1-yard line if Pete did what we think he should have done, because of the package the Patriots had on the field. So look for Ernie Adams. Malcolm Butler should be selling books at Radio Row. There should be a lot going on.
Yeah, I think Malcolm Butler is going to be the mayor of Radio Row. And, yeah, what Ernie Adams told us is because the Seahawks sent in the goal line package with the 3 receivers, that there would have been an unblocked defender for the Patriots, probably Dante Hightower, who would have just screamed into the backfield and stopped Marshawn Lynch for like a 4-yard loss. So that's why the Seahawks felt like they needed to throw a pass on the goal line. I would counter with, yeah, maybe they should have gone with 2 tight ends. Maybe don't put that package in the game. But, yeah, Pete Carroll, maybe stay away from the TV here for maybe don't answer. Well, actually, you should answer Dan's call. But
it was amazing. Pete Carroll stayed in Seattle after that game. Grady Little was gone the night it happened. That was the end. Pete Carroll could not have come back and coached a Patriot team after giving away a Super Bowl the way he did. And Pete was able to do that in Seattle. So they have nicer people there than we do.
But that was another example, Dan, of where the Patriots broke a franchise. That loss to the Seahawks. Oh, yeah. I mean, that ended the Legion of Boom run. They had they made the playoffs, but they were never the same after that. And I think that decision really hurt Pete Carroll in the locker room with some of his players. Richard Sherman has talked about that. So don't discount like the redemption and revenge factor that the Seahawks, they now get the Patriots again 10 years later, 11 years later. Remember the Eagles, they got their redemption in the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. If I'm the Patriots, I'd be a little worried about that.
Well, I hope they are worried, and I hope that this is the game that we look forward to. The Patriots have had really good close Super Bowls. Really, the last one was kind of boring, the 13-3 against the Rams in Atlanta 7 years ago. It took 7 whole years to get back to the Super Bowl. Imagine that. Wow, we are starved.